Good morning. My name is Jody Connor. I am the Food Stamp Employment and Training Program Manager for Regions 7 and 8 of Wisconsin. This is our orientation to the Food Share Employment and Training Program. I thank you for your interest and attendance today, and I welcome you to our program. I will be explaining opportunities, participation requirements, and program activities in greater detail. You should have received application materials when you came in this morning. Please hold off filling out those forms until the end of the orientation, as I will be explaining those forms further. At the end of this video, we'll open up a live internet chat session, and you will be able to ask a staff member any questions you may have. The FSET program in your county is operated by Workforce Resource Incorporated, WRI, under contract with the Wisconsin Department of Health Services. WRI is a private, nonprofit employment agency with 30 years' experience helping individuals connect to and advance in the workforce. In our northern region, we are in partnership with Northwest Concentrated Employment and Training, known as SEP, a similar agency with 40 years of employment and training history. One of the customers we worked with this past year was Linda, featured here in our annual success calendar. She came to us when she was laid off from a long-time job as a personal care worker, and her unemployment was running out. Workforce Resource referred her to the Wisconsin Works program, which provided income support while her case manager helped her assess her skills and interests, explore her options, and set employment goals. WRI partnered with Chippewa Valley Technical College, where Linda completed the Medical Office Receptionist program. This led to her getting a full-time job with a company where she oversees a team of drivers who transport elderly and disabled individuals. Her wages are higher than her previous employment, with full benefits. Linda is an example of how WRI collaborates with other agencies and programs to aid our customers. The purpose of the Food Share Employment and Training Program, shortened to FSET, is to provide Food Share members with opportunities to gain skills, training, and experience needed to improve employment prospects and reduce reliance on Food Share benefits. The program also offers Food Share members a way to meet the work requirements stipulated in the Food and Nutrition Act of 2008. Wisconsin's FSET program focuses on identifying the strengths, needs, and preferences of job seekers and offers individualized services to improve job-seeking skills and increase employment opportunities. The Food and Nutrition Act of 2008 limits the receipt of Food Share benefits to 3 months in a 3-year period for able-bodied adults without dependents, or ABA-WDs or ABODs, who are not working, participating in, and complying with the requirements of a work or workfare program. Food Share work requirements were waived for Wisconsin due to high unemployment rates, but the waiver ended effective April 1st, 2015 due to the improving economy. There are a large number of opportunities offered by participation in the FSET program. Assisted job search is not just sending you out to look for work, but providing assistance so that you will have a winning resume or application. There will also be referrals to current job openings, as well as positions solicited by our job development staff. Our Quality Workforce Workshop series prepares customers to interview well, project a positive attitude, and succeed in obtaining and keeping employment. WRI partners, such as technical colleges and literacy groups, can work with you to complete basic educational achievements, such as the GED, high school diploma, or English language skills, which most employers want for their workers. FSET also has provisions for individuals in approved training programs up to 2 years in length. Unpaid work experience can be one of the most valuable activities you can do. Even in this economy, some hiring managers look at long-term unemployed candidates and wonder if there's a reason that other employers haven't hired them. You can combat this by doing community service work, showing that you've been spending your time building your skills. Employers want to see that you've done something different while unemployed. And many of our work sites will provide references no different than if you had been working for a wage. We can provide financial assistance toward the cost of entering a job or for your participation in the program within budget limits. FSET customers with an active employment plan are eligible for the Wisconsin Shares Daycare Subsidy to help with the costs associated with working and participation. There are two groups of volunteers in the FSET program. One group is the able-bodied adults without dependents, again, which we refer to as ABODs, and the non-ABODs, generally people with children in their food share group or pregnant, and the exempted ABODs. So, who is required to meet the work requirements as of April 1st? Able-bodied adults without dependents who are not exempted. If you are an adult ages 18 through 49, renewing or applying for food share benefits and do not have minor children living in your home, you need to meet a work requirement or be found exempt from the work requirement to continue getting food share benefits. ABODs not meeting the work requirement for 3 months within a 36-month period will lose eligibility for food share for the following 36 months. These are referred to as time-limited benefits, or TLBs. Let's take just a quick look at the list of exemptions for potential ABODs. These include if you are determined unfit for employment, situations which would meet the definition of unfit for employment include if you are receiving temporary or permanent disability benefits, if you're mentally or physically unable to work as determined by the Income Maintenance Agency, or if you're verified unable to work by a health professional or a social worker. Other exemptions are if you're receiving unemployment compensation or have applied for unemployment compensation and are complying with unemployment compensation work requirements, if you are regularly participating in an alcohol or other drug addiction treatment or rehabilitation program, which could be inpatient or outpatient, a student of higher education who is otherwise eligible for food share per the food share handbook, a high school student 18 years of age or older attending high school at least half-time, or if you are the primary caregiver of a dependent child under age 6 or an incapacitated person. The child or the incapacitated person would not necessarily have to live with you. We very much encourage individuals who are not ABODs or who are classified as exempt ABODs to volunteer to participate in FSET activities. Time-limited benefits and food share work requirements do not apply to this group. They will not lose or see a reduction in their food share benefits for not participating and can leave the program at any time. Because of that, they have more choices as to the hours and kinds of activities they participate in, which again is anything available through the food share handbook. Who determines who is an ABOD and who is not? Determination whether an individual is an ABOD or not, or if they are eligible for an exemption, is determined by county-level economic support workers and not by the FSET program staff. Individuals determined to meet ABOD status are automatically referred to the FSET program. Individuals can request exemption status while participating in FSET, but must continue to meet the work requirements pending a determination by the county income maintenance staff or risk losing food share eligibility. So how do ABODs meet the work requirements? ABODs can meet work requirements in several ways, including participation in the FSET program. All FSET participants, including ABODs, are considered volunteers. Non-exempt ABODs who need to meet the work requirement in order to maintain eligibility for food share automatically receive a referral to FSET. An ABOD may choose to participate in FSET in order to meet the work requirement, they can also meet the requirements by doing any of the following. They could obtain paid work, at least 80 hours each month. They could take part in an allowable work program other than FSET, at least 80 hours each month. Allowable work programs include the Wisconsin Works Program, which is the state's cash benefit program, the Workforce Investment Act, Refugee Cash Assistance, and the Trade Adjustment Act. An individual could both work and take part in allowable work programs for a combined total of at least 80 hours each month. An example being the individual who would, for example, work 20 hours part-time each month and also do 60 hours in the Workforce Investment Act program. Or you can take part in and meet the requirements of a workfare program. This FSET program has a workfare component. This is a summary of activities for ABODs in the FSET programs. ABODs who elect to meet the work requirements of FSET are required to participate in 80 hours of verifiable activities each month. The details of these activities, such as a location, hours, schedule, will be spelled out in an employment plan written with an assigned case manager. The 80 hours is standard and does not change with the size of the food share allotment. There are some 36 different activities available to food share employment and training customers, and they should expect to be assigned to a mix of several activities, including a work activity and job search. That said, a work activity is not absolutely required, and other activities may be substituted for individuals acting to overcome work barriers and limitations. Job search by federal rule cannot exceed 39 of the 80 hours. Non-exempt ABODs may be able to meet work requirements without providing 80 hours activity by performing unpaid community service work. This work is done at private or public nonprofit sites. The number of hours which must be performed are determined by dividing monthly food share amounts by the minimum wage. For example, an individual who receives $200 a month in their food share allotment each month would have that divided by the current $7.25 an hour minimum wage, equaling 28 hours a month that they would need to do to meet a workfare requirement. The individual may volunteer for other non-work activities, but only the public service hours would be counted toward meeting the work requirement. This work requirement may be preceded by 80 hours of combination job search workshop assignments, but only during the first 30 days of a workfare assignment, and the individual must start an actual community service job at the end of the 30 days. Workfare may not be an option for every individual based on the availability of work sites, or may not be an option immediately as suitable work sites are developed. Individuals for which a work site cannot be secured will need to meet the work requirement through one of the other options. Again, there are few requirements for our non-ABOD and exempt ABOD volunteers. They are required to participate in activities at least 12 hours per month. They can't access the same services as ABOD customers with the exception of workfare. They can participate in assisted job search, but that activity must be in conjunction with at least one other activity which improves employability. Individuals who do not participate 12 hours for 2 consecutive months may be closed, but could reapply for FSET services. Three items were provided in the enrollment packet when you arrived this morning: an assessment form, a rights and responsibilities, and an employer release. The assessment form provides the case manager with information needed to determine your work skills and write an employment plan to assist you in gaining and keeping employment. Please fill it out carefully and accurately, like you would a job application. The rights and responsibilities. Please read this over carefully before turning it back in, because it outlines what will be expected of you and the reporting rules you will need to follow and what you can expect from us. If you need assistance for this or any other forms discussed, a staff member can read it over with you. A copy of this form should be sent home with you. The Employer Release of Information form. We know that when you begin employment, you'll have fewer hours to correspond with us. This form allows workforce resource staff to contact your future employer directly in order to get information necessary for reporting your employment success with the State of Wisconsin Department of Health Services. You have a right to due process if you believe that actions taken by this agency have unfairly reduced or ended your food share. You can initiate such action by contacting any member of our staff and requesting a fair hearing with an administrative law judge from the Wisconsin Division of Administrative Hearings. Our agency will provide you with a form and instructions upon request. We can also inform you where to address a handwritten request. General complaints and concerns can be addressed to myself at the phone number on the slide, and that is Workforce Resource W-2 FSET Program Manager, 855-792-5439, extension 1313. Again, 855-792-5439, extension 1313. So what happens next? You should turn in your completed enrollment materials to the desk at this office. They will provide them to your case manager. If you have not already done so, register with the Job Center of Wisconsin, a free self-service system for job seekers to search job openings and post resumes all across the state. It also populates information into the Workforce Resource Case Management System so that you don't have to enter the information twice. Staff here can assist you with that registration. WRI staff will schedule you for the soonest available appointment with a case manager. It is especially important if you are an ABOD that we move quickly, as the time-limited benefits clock is already ticking. At your appointment, your case manager will do some quick math and reading tests, discuss your work history and any issues affecting your ability to work. Your case manager will ask for input to develop an employment plan which meets your unique situation. Assignments will be determined which will improve employment opportunities and meet ABOD work requirements. Thank you so very much for participating in this orientation. Please wait for just a few moments and the live question and answer session will begin.